When jokes lead to an assault, or maybe it should say if someone gets the best of you in jokes, should that lead to an assault, even if she's a woman? YouTube randomly recommended me a video of Vanessa Fraction discussing how she was attacked by Torry. So I decided to do a breakdown of this on my channel since it aligns very well with the messaging. I do want to give a brief disclaimer. This is my opinion. I am basing my opinion on what I heard from both parties. This matter was not taken to court due to it occurring in a foreign country. In case you don't know these two, here is a little background information on both of them. Vanessa is a comedian, actress, writer, and co-host of Comedy Hype. One of her past gigs was as a writer for The Monique Show, but most people may know her from Def Comedy Jam.
All we really want you to have is an at least. You ain't got to have everything. We just want you to have an at least. I know a lot of men. Don't worry, ladies, they ain't caught on yet. The men looking like, what the fuck is an at least? Let me help you out. Ladies, have you ever met somebody where you be like, ooh, this nigga ain't even cute, but at least he got a job.
Torry is a comedian and actor. A lot of people may know him from Def Comedy Jam, but I also think a lot of people know him from some of the most hood favorite movies, such as Tales from the Hood and Poetic Justice. Around 2009, both Vanessa and Torry were on a tour in Japan, entertaining the troops when they started joking back and forth with each other. Unfortunately, this led to a physical fight. Let's listen to Joe's account of what happened first.
A year later, Joe got tangled in a nasty scene on a tour bus in Japan involving female comic Vanessa Fraction.
It was one of those mornings where I'm hungover, didn't really feel like hearing it, and this person was really, really hammering into me. She tried to grab me, I tried to grab her. We ended up in a situation where she felt threatened.
Back in the States, word of the dust-up spread fast.
It was like all over the radio. You beat this woman up, this comedian, you did this, and I had death threats. You know, people calling me, canceling shows.
I felt like, man, that's my brother, that's fam. And I was just hoping and praying that it didn't affect his career.
We have talked about it. We have tried about it. We have moved on about it. And I like how she's grown as a person and myself as a person. I hate that that even happened, because that was one morning I didn't have my armor on. I woke up and, I let the devil get me.
Make it a positive was when I got attacked by one of my coworkers on the job. That was a big fuck it moment for me. When you realize that the thing that makes you money, my mouth, was the thing that got me beat up. You know what I mean? Like, that is, I don't know, it fucked with me in a space that I, even now it's hard to say. Because even growing up, you have different people that say, your mouth gonna get you fucked up one day. And then my mouth started getting me paid so I could go nan boo boo. And then finally, the circle came around and I got fucked up. You know what I mean? And it hurt me in some spaces. But to bring some, I guess, clarity to the story, I was on tour in Japan, and everything had been going well. It was toward the end of it. And I don't like to say his name and bring it back up like that, because we've tried to mediate, squash things, and move on. You know what I mean? So this particular cat that I was on the road with decided to have beef with me for who God knows what reason. If I take his story and my story and put it together, he still shouldn't have put his hands on me. But he says that everybody was joning on him, and what I said was too personal. I don't know what the fuck I said, but I mean, we was talking about, like, you see that girl in the gray dress we was partying with last night? And I'd be like, yeah, the chick I was dancing with, you know what I'm saying? Just being silly. And everything I would say, he would just keep saying, oh yeah, bitch. And kept calling me bitches. Like, everything I say, he'll be like, oh yeah, bitch, well, what you do next, bitch? Oh yeah, bitch, well, what's next, bitch? Like, he just keep doing it to the point I was like, okay, well, what's up with all the bitch calling? He said, that's how it is, bitch. I said, oh, I wish you would have said so. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's how you're going to do it, I just wanted to know, because I'm going to insult your pussy ass, and I'm going to start from A, and I'm not going to stop till I get to Z, you aardvark face motherfucker, you bitch-made, cock-sucking, dick-licking fuck boy, you ill-faced nigga. Like, I just kept going all the way to the end, and right when he thought I was going to stop, I did not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get caught up. I'm on P pussy, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And I know I kept going, but at this point, I feel like you agitated me. You know what I mean? And so I was like, fuck it, I'm going for it, you know? We get to X, you xylophone mouth motherfucker. Every time you suck a dick, all I hear is boom, 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 which I thought I was gonna get caught up on X, but I didn't. Anyway, I went all the way to Z. It was a glorious moment for me as a woman, standing up for myself, for all the times you called me bitch and couldn't even be creative enough to call me something else. As a comedian, you know, because this particular person hosted a very popular show and was known for joning, and I was able to stand up for myself. I was confident in that. We both decided after going back and forth on some stuff that we both said enough. And that the best thing for us was to look out the window and not say nothing else to each other for the rest of the ride. We agreed on it. He said, that's the best thing you said the whole ride. Dap it up. We dapped it up. We both look out the window. 3 seconds later, he was like, yeah, you better look out the window, bitch, or I'm gonna fuck you up. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna look out the window, but stop threatening me. Oh, you think I won't fuck you up? I don't want you to fuck me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna look out the window. I ain't said nothing about touching you. Don't say nothing about touching me. Let's just move it. Oh, you think I won't fuck you up? Gets up, does all that. Next thing I know, foo-fop, foo-fop. And you know, foo-fop me and shit. You choking me, doing all this shit. And I'm trying, the other guys on there trying to not really pull him off. Come on, man, don't be doing all that. He's pulling my hair, kicking down on me. My wife's a bitch. My mama's a bitch. Everybody's, I'm sick of all you mouthy bitches. Like, I'm every woman, like I'm Shaka Khan in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But it's a incident that, again, I didn't think, I said fuck it, I'm gonna go forward and stand up for myself. Ended up getting myself, you know, in a tighter situation. Ended up going to therapy after that. You know, I was in another country, couldn't sue him, couldn't do much of anything. I had a lot of personal things going on in my life. I have kids, you know what I mean? It tore me down to know that I've been on the road with men for over 10 years, and at any point, any of y'all could have turned around and gang raped me, and nobody would have fucking did anything, because nobody did shit when he sat up here and jumped me. You know, it was a very vulnerable and terrible thing for me to feel. And it's like the moment, you know, people can spar back and forth with words, and especially being a comedian, you know, that's our job. You know what I mean? Like, a boxer's not going to get out the ring and fight a pedestrian. You know what I mean? Like, a civilian, excuse me. The same as a comedian's not going to get out. I wouldn't have done that to another man. That's not how I conduct myself. But you, sir, are a comedian, and you attacked me with your words. And so for me, yes, let's verbally spar. You know what I mean? But after that, for you to get physical, just totally crossed the line. I just never thought that kind of thing would happen to me. And my other fucking moment is when I said I'm not going to let it take me down. I went to therapy. Though you don't think it'll happen, you always want to be prepared just in case. And so what I decided to do is become a certified self-defense instructor. And now I teach a class. I teach the self-defense class. It's called Kicks and Comedy, where I empower women with self-defense, and then I lift their spirits with comedy. So it's like a self-defense class infused with comedy. But I share my story, and then we kick some ass, and then we laugh. So, you know.
There were a couple of things that stood out when Joe gave his side of the story. One, he said he was still hungover. People who are still hungover are just coming down from a high, but they still display the same behaviors that they have when they're drunk. And that typically is being very loud, sometimes angry and argumentative. He then claimed that they both were physically assaulting each other. Okay, but who started the physical fight is what I wanted to know. And then he went on to say he didn't have his armor on and he let the devil get in. So is that his way of saying that he started the fight and that he should not have, but the devil got into him? And did y'all see that newspaper that they showed in the clip? Joe Torry beats a female comedian ass. Was that a real newspaper that actually ran that headline? This situation was beyond messy, and the way that they went about it was even more disgusting. Vanessa provided more details, which makes it seem as though she was being more honest about what unfolded that day to lead to the altercation. She said that they were going back and forth with each other. He called her a bitch, and then she proudly went through A through Z and roasting him. They made a piece, and when they made that piece, he then retaliated against her by physically assaulting her. She said that nobody on the bus that day tried to help her, and that really left some emotional scars and possibly physical scars on her. So, who do you believe? I honestly believe that Vanessa gave a more accurate, detailed description of what happened that day over Torry. I honestly think that he was avoiding, basically saying that I couldn't handle going back and forth with her. Like she outwitted me, and so I assaulted her. I strongly believe that's why he brought in armor of God and the devil, because now you're just dancing around what actually happened. I think Vanessa may have been very animated, as most women are when we're speaking. Very animated, meaning, I don't want to say in his face, but maybe being very voiceful about her jokes. And obviously, men with fragile egos, they can't really handle a woman that's secure in herself and who can handle herself, especially verbally. I think when he couldn't beat her verbally, he chose to resort to physical assault. And it seems like from both of them, that's essentially what happened. And so this has just become a stain on his career, because you physically assaulted somebody because you couldn't verbally beat them. And you only did that because she was a woman and she was a smaller statue than you. And that's really sad, because you're supposed to be there protecting this woman instead of trying to hurt her. If you don't want to go back and forth with someone, don't go back and forth with them. Just leave the situation or move to a different area of the bus. But I strongly believe Vanessa's side of the story. Leave a comment or two about, what do you think? Do you think it was Vanessa's fault, or do you think it was Joe's fault? And do you believe that if you can't beat somebody verbally, that you have the right to try to physically assault them, if not just assaulting them?